Well, hello, Mr. Clyde Gabriel.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Right, thank you. And this is another interview of the Southern View magazine, one-on-one with Mr. Clyde Gabriel, who is running for a candidate for Lafayette Parish Council District 5. So, Mr. Gabriel,
Yes.
tell us, the viewing audience, a little bit about yourself.
My name is Clyde Gabriel. I am a resident of Lafayette, Louisiana, lifelong. Educated here, then went to Southern University, came back home to become involved in my community. I've done volunteer work for the past 12 years with different organizations, everything from criminal justice reform to public policy forming, anything that was needed in the community, I was there. People would just call me, ask me if I was able to help. And whether I was or not, I found a way to get something done. So I've kind of been a community servant without the title, pretty much all my life.
All your life.
And
Okay.
I enjoy that. I really do.
Okay. Well, why do you want to run for Parish Council District 5?
I'm not sure. No, I'm just kidding. I want to run. I've decided to run for parish council simply because I saw a need. That was a huge void in terms of the level of representation for the constituents of District 5. I decided I wanted to fill that void and become the voice of the needs and concerns of the constituents of District 5. I am capable, I am articulate, I am, from a standpoint of my ability to reason and rationalize things, I have skills in that regard as well. So it's pretty much a perfect fit for me. I just want to be able to put what God has blessed me with to use to help members or residents of District 5 in the parish of Lafayette.
Okay. That's a pretty large district.
It is, and my God, as I looked at it on the map, it meanders all over the place. And it's a lot. It comprises a lot of different areas, people with varied interests. So the key is going to be to bring these interests together and find a common ground for everybody. But my focus will definitely be on the sides or the parts of the district that have been neglected over the past 4 years by the current. I don't know why. Only the incumbent can speak to why they have not been adequately represented or their needs. But I know that that's an issue, and that's one of the things that brought me into this race. So I'm simply going to get into it and try to be the one to voice whatever their concerns are in the district.
Well, do you plan on having community meetings, giving the constituents?
Absolutely.
So you can really hear their concerns?
Yes, I do plan to have that. And if elected, it will be a regular thing. At least once a month, I will invite members of the community to come and sit with me, and we can discuss whatever their concerns are, because life changes daily and we have to be able to adjust and find out what's new in a person's life. What are your concerns? What do you need? And that's what a community meeting on a regular basis will afford myself and the constituents that I will hopefully represent.
Well, when you think about them sharing their concerns, you have to prioritize it and see which are the greatest needs for that community.
Yes. And for instance, I know that the residents of Derby Heights and parts of Carencro, they may have a whole lot of needs, but one of the main concerns is drainage and flooding. So that will be a top priority for me, particularly for those areas. And any area that's a part of District 5 that experiences flooding. It's a disaster, and it's not something that people should be forced to live with, at least not for extended periods of time, as the members or the residents of the Derby Heights has. It's been since 2016 they've been contemplating the next flood, and they just shouldn't have to live with that trepidation. They really
Right.
shouldn't.
I
So,
kind of remember that flood.
Yes.
And they were
yes.
riding a boat to get
Exactly,
home. you know?
exactly. I was temporarily in Youngsville at the time, and it was the first time I've ever experienced anything like that. And because Youngsville suffered with flooding in an extremely bad way at that time also. But since then, they've created retention ponds, and they've addressed the issue, or at least have attempted to address the issue more so than they have on the north side. And I'm not sure what they've done in the Carencro area, but I know Derby Heights, they've only begun construction of a retention wall, I believe it is, and something with the coulee that runs behind Derby Heights. And it's just not enough. It's not enough. I mean, it's been 8 years. Well, it's been longer than that. But for this administration, at least 4 years, and still not redressed. So yeah.
Well, that's what I was kind of talking about too. Your thoughts on the greatest needs. Well, that's one side of town, but in the grand scope of things, what are your concerns?
They are multi. I have
Prioritizing.
Library on the north side, on the northeast side, is a major concern. Of course, drainage
Is
and
that
flood.
something you've spoken to the residents about?
I have, and they're definitely in favor of that. And recently, I was reading an article where the city, LCG, is planning to develop a multi-complex indoor athletic facility. And as I read the article, I was very intrigued and impressed with the plans for it. But as I completed the article, I realized they never stated where it was going to be constructed. Now, it's a great idea in terms of tax dollars, revenue, and everything that it's going to bring to the city. And I would definitely support it, but I need to know that the north side is not going to be left out in that regard. So, yeah. And there are other projects, I'm sure, that they have planned, but we just need to be included. We need to make sure this is an all-inclusive process.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we know that you have one vote.
Yes.
How do you plan to work with the other members of the council?
I plan to approach it from, at first, a sort of conciliatory perspective. I want to go in there with the intent of letting them know that I want to work for the greater good of all, first and foremost. But by no means am I willing to allow the city of Lafayette or the parish council to neglect and continue to neglect the residents of District 5, particularly on the north side. So yeah, I'm not going in there trying to bully my way in and say, do this, do it. No, I mean, I'm a reasonable person, and I know how politics works. I've been educated in it. And pretty much every day of my life is a political struggle. I mean, just in terms of resources, trying to get and attain resources for people, whether I'm in office or not. So I definitely know how to approach it, and that is my initial plan. If it comes to a point where I realize that is not working, and it's not much hope for what I would like to see done on the north side as it relates to District 5, then I have a plan B. Not going to go into particulars, but yeah, the concerns of District 5 will definitely be heard. I hope we can do it in a peaceful and fashionable way, but if not, then we have to do what we have to do. But they're not going to go unaddressed like they have been for the past 4 years.
There's a plan B.
There is a plan B. Hopefully we won't need it, but there is a plan B, yes.
All right. Which parks are in District 5?
I was researching that the other night. I know Brown Park, Hyman Park, Martin Luther King, and Acadian Park.
Wow, okay.
I'm not sure if there's one in the Carencro area, but if there is, it is more than likely in District 5 as well.
Okay, all right. Well, that's practically all the parks that we basically partake in.
Yeah.
Okay, how can the constituents of District 5 be assured that the monies allocated, the monies needed be allocated to the parks in District 5. So there is always a pool of money,
Absolutely.
you know, that's allocated.
Yeah.
How do you plan to work with the council and then the
Yes.
administration on getting those funds?
Good question. So my understanding is that citizen participation has been lacking in terms of attending meetings and giving input from the community. I am going to ask, request, and almost demand that my constituents, as many as possible, attend the meetings on a regular basis, if at all. Not just when certain issues arise, but it's important that the council as a whole and the city see that you all are willing to participate in the process. I know we all have busy lives and we have schedules, but if at all possible, I would like to see as many of my constituents, if I am elected to that office, attend and give their input. There's a process where you fill out a card, give permission to speak, and we need that. We need to show that we are concerned and we are willing and ready to participate in the process.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but in your neighborhoods, probably you can pick, not pick, but select one or two people in the
Absolutely.
neighborhoods
Yes.
to get out there and
Exactly.
attend meetings,
Yes.
alternate people, share
Yes.
that information
Very good.
back
Very
with
good
the
idea.
people.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
that's the way.
Yes.
Because I know that in the past, everything was happening, but then the council and the administration would say, well, we don't have any representation.
Exactly.
You know, well then,
Exactly.
hey, let the bodies show up
Yeah,
and see
exactly.
that there
Because
is representation.
Without that, I mean, and understandably, they don't feel or sense a sense of accountability.
Yeah,
There's nothing I need to be accountable to or for.
right.
I mean, they don't even show up. They don't even participate. So I need the constituents of District 5 to know I need you to participate in the meetings on a regular basis, if at all possible.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot. You
Yes.
know, it's asking a lot, but actually it's not asking
It's
more.
not.
It's not asking
yeah,
too much.
Yeah. I mean, we attend sporting events. We make time for that,
Yeah.
and I mean, you know, that's important in whatever regards that it is. But yeah, it's also important that you show that you are concerned with and demand some accountability for the needs that you as a citizen desire.
Right.
So yes.
I was just thinking, another way, not this is after the fact, but they can always go back to AOC and see what happened
Yes.
on that meeting.
After the
I
fact,
don't know how
exactly.
many people
Yeah.
actually know that they can view.
That's a good point.
that,
Yes.
you
Yes.
know.
Yeah. ALC is a good medium,
Yeah.
and that's a very good point.
Oh,
Yes. But I would like to see them in the actual
Right.
meeting,
That's
if at
right.
all
Yeah,
possible.
exactly,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes. That has there's strength in numbers, and that has a presence that cannot be denied.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. So why should the residents of District 5 vote for Mr. Clyde Gabriel?
I have so many reasons I could say, but I'm just going to say this because I am a man that is true to my word. If I say I'm going to do something, by all means, I will do that particular thing. I sit here today to tell you that I will be the voice of your concerns. Whatever your issues are, rest assured that on that council, I will be the one to speak them or to articulate them to the other members of the council and the city of Lafayette as a whole. It will not go unaddressed. People have told me, man, we haven't even heard anything from the representative that is currently in the seat about the status of whatever our issues are. And I'm like, that's just unacceptable.
Yeah.
That's unacceptable. I mean, you have to, as a representative, I will be accountable and accessible to the members of the community and the members of my district. And you will always have access to me 24/7 for the most part. So, yeah. You should vote for me because I am going to put your concerns at the top of my list.
That's
Yes.
good. Well, that's kind of like right now, share closing comments with the audience.
Okay.
And again, reiterate why they should vote for you, why you're running, and share that with the people.
I cannot speak to anything about either of my opponents. I have two of them, and that includes the incumbent. All I know is that people are dissatisfied with the performance of the person who is currently in office. Whatever that's about, that's between them and that person. You asked for an alternative, many of you did. I chose to be that alternative. Most of you know me. For those of you who don't, I care about all people, across genders, racial identities, everything, socioeconomic factors. I care about all people. But I do not want anyone sacrificed or excluded at the expense of others who are preferred. I will be fair, I will be equitable, and I will be efficient in voicing your needs and getting your concerns addressed. Plan A is the plan. However, there is a plan B. So let's hope we don't have to go there. I believe that the members of the council, whoever they may be, are reasonable, compassionate people, and they are willing to serve the District 5 as a whole, the city of Lafayette as a whole. So I don't anticipate any problems with, the council. However, if that does occur, then we'll deal with it when it does. But know that I will fight vigorously and rigorously to get your needs addressed, whatever they are. I am Clyde Gabriel, number 96 on the ballot, Lafayette Parish Council District 5.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I just want to, again, let the audience know that early voting
Yes.
is Saturday,
Begins
September
Saturday.
30th,
Yes.
through Saturday, October
October
7th.
7th.
That's
Yes.
right.
Yes.
And then voting on election day
October
is
14th.
That's right.
Yes.
October
Yes.
14th. You make that so well known, okay?
Yes, thank
So
you.
he's a voice for the concerns,
Yes.
and we wish you well
Thank you.
on your journey.
I appreciate the opportunity to sit here with you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
And this has been another interview with Susannah Johnson Malbreaux, the Southern View magazine. Thank you so much, Mr. Gabriel.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
All
Thank
right.
you. I appreciate it.